Right, sorry about that. That was my lovely little Russian lady customer. She's just been over to see Putin to have a word with him, and hopefully he's going to behave himself from now on. Right, so cup of tea. Where was my cup of tea? And where's the key? Right, where were we? There we are. So we're inside now. Oh, hang on, let me get out again. So seat, bolster seat. Why did I use this car? Yes, Charlie. So we did about 190, 200 miles, something like that, round trip. About 20 quid's worth of diesel. Excuse me, nice cup of tea that is. I use this car because my children are teenagers. And I don't know whether you've got teenagers, but when you get teenagers, a thing happens to them where they cannot sit next to each other for more than 3 seconds. In terms of proximity, they cannot be within a foot of one another. So having 3, I managed to get 1 there in the back, 1 here and 1 there. They've got plenty of leg room, so they did not moan once on their journey. That's how you access the back. These are all adjustable, move backwards and tilt and things like that, and these slide forward and adjust and do all sorts of wonderful things. You can flip them over, and I think you can even take them out, so you can be happier. So you can make it like a van. We've got some windows in the back which are slidey windows to open, but we also have central heating system up here. So you've got your hot and cold and the fan and then the blowers that come down individually, and then you've got some lights in the very rear and one here as well, which gives good visibility. So good thing that this has come from the NHS, because they don't tend to have animals in them. Normally when we get these types of vehicles in, they're either plastered in sand because they've been at the beach constantly, and they've got dog hair everywhere and they stink. It doesn't smell of smoking, because obviously being an NHS vehicle, it hasn't been smoked in, or certainly shouldn't have been smoked in, but it certainly hasn't been, or there's no telltale signs of it being smoked in terms of the smells, or none of them. So there's a little cubby hole up here to put your mother-in-law, and the locking wheel nut is in there. There's 2 little cubby holes over there. There's some service history there. You have controls here for the phone, and you have controls there for your radio, and you have a CD player, and also obviously it's hands-free. We have electric windows, lock the doors for security whilst you're driving them, electric mirrors, front and rear fog lights. This has got parking sensors as well. I'm sure it's got front ones. I'll check if it's got front ones. It's definitely got rear ones. Light there for in the back, and traction control. So if you do take it sort of camping or onto the school field, you can switch your traction control on and off to give you a little bit more control. There is my beautiful assistant, my wife, and she works with me, obviously. She MOTs the cars as well, so nothing gets past her. It has an electric seat, which is nice, isn't it? For 1 person. For 1 person only. In the winter, that 1 person can have a warm bum. The rest of you haven't got a chance, because the tight-fisted person that bought this car from new decided that the other people were not important. Their bottoms could stay cold, whilst he or she could have a warm bum. So I'm afraid you've got 1 warm bum. But 1 warm bun is better than no warm buns. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Right, so rub the dash, tell her she's a good girl. Good girl. Turn the ignition on. There will be, there it is, little curly whirly light flashed on and off, does a system check. Turn the key and up she goes. Lovely. Now I drove it, as you know, all the way to Shropshire and back, and there was absolutely no issues whatsoever. It did a DPF regen on its way. That's when a little warning light will come up and tell you that you need to stay at a certain speed. Now, you need to be aware of this. Dealers won't tell you it, but every diesel car now has a DPF on it. And a DPF is like a big filter on the exhaust system that is to catch the harmful particulates to prevent them coming out into the atmosphere. Now, diesel is a dirty oil, and the filter itself will begin to fill. When it gets over a certain percentage, it varies from model to model, it's usually around about 60%, 50 to 60%, it will need a regen. Now, a regen is a pain in the bum because it means you have got to drive it at a certain speed, usually around about 60 miles per hour, for a period of time for the DPF to get warm enough so it can clean itself out. If you don't do that, it will block. And what will happen eventually is it will basically lose power, and in extreme circumstances it can prevent the vehicle from starting. Now, if you're not doing long journeys in the car and you're doing very short journeys, the vehicle, well, no matter what diesel you buy, it will need to have a run every now and again to get it nice and hot, to get the DPF up to temperature so it can clean itself. Otherwise, going on the school trips backwards and forwards, it will make it block. So be aware of that if you're buying any diesel. Doesn't matter whether it's from us, just make sure you're aware. Dealers won't tell you because it is a worry. People do worry about it. Now, one way to help avoid it, believe it or not, is to use Shell fuel. Shell fuel is what the manufacturer designed the car to go on, to run on, and to keep the DPF clean. Shell fuel has a product added to it called Forte, and that Forte product cleans. The other garages don't have it, which is why they're usually a few pence cheaper. So you might be saving money at Sainsbury's or Tesco's, but if you use Shell fuel, your engine will stay cleaner, you will get more miles to the gallon, and you will be less likely to get issues with your DPF and having to do the extended driving, so you end up saving money. So it's a win-win. That advice I've been given to people for years. A lot of time they think I'm crazy until they accept it, they do it, and they keep on telling me every year, Ben, you know, what you told me, I only use Shell and the car's been great since. So you need to know that. One of the reasons we do these videos is to try and point out, you know, you're buying the car from a distance. So, you know, what we don't want is a situation where you have the car delivered to you and you go, do you know what? He didn't tell me about that mark there. Right, so there's a mark there, or he didn't tell me about, there's like a slight crack in that dash thing there. It's probably where someone's dropped a pound or something, and they've tried to fish hook it out and slightly put a hairline crack in the dash bit there. So, or there's wear on here. You know, we'll try and show you everything that we can find. There might be areas that we can find, but you can give you a good sense of what the condition is. And also, we don't mind giving you the, oh, there's where the petrol thing is. That's a question where people ask me all the time when they get a car. How do you open the petrol thing? You press that, and as if by magic, it opens. I'm pretty sure this car's got 2 keys, but don't quote me on it. It'll be a surprise. If it turns up with 1, it's only got 1. If it turns up with 2, it's got 2. Now, moving on to the DPF, continuing on with the DPF. This is your diesel for Shell fuel, and this is the AdBlue. Now, the AdBlue is important because what that does is it assists the DPF in terms of keeping it clean. It's an additional feature. And we put the AdBlue in. You've probably seen it. It will be filled up before it leaves. And you will need to then continue to put AdBlue in it as directed. But my advice is every couple of 100 miles, just top it up. The AdBlue is very cheap. It's not going to cost you a lot of money. The peanuts. I'll include a bottle of it for you when you take or whoever takes delivery of it. So you just simply pop that in. Hey presto, you're good to go. I think they all hold about 20 litres, depending on what vehicle it is. But yeah, it's not a major thing. That helps clean the DPF. So it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. What have I done? I'm sure there's another key with this car. There's got to be another key with this car. Sure there is. I'll have to double check. I think this one needs a battery because it doesn't seem to be doing it from the remote. So I don't know about the remote. Now, opening this door. We'll have a look inside of here. Okay, so seats. Here we go. Isofix. And then the back seats. I never know how to do these things. Hold on a minute. There we go. So with the double one, there's your access for the double one. And then we climb in like so. So there is a bit of a mark there. There's a cup holder there as well. And this is where we are in the back with all the seat belts. Another little cup holder. And you've got the air vents up here to keep the kids nice and happy and cool. To blow on, there we are. Oh, that is nice carpet sets, and it's got, I think it's got 2 additional, yeah it has. So it's got this carpet mat set and an additional carpet mat set, so it's very clean and looked after in the back there, isn't it? Carpets are nice. Right, passenger side, pretty straightforward in here. Again, carpet mats, 2 sets of carpet mats, so underneath the carpets are really very immaculate. And I think that's it. If there's anything that I've missed or you're not happy with, or you're saying, oh, crikey Ben, I wish you'd just spent a little bit more on that area there, let me know and I'll do it again, but I'm pretty sure I've bored you to death. I'm now going to send it via that. Now there should be a pigeon on there, or a bird, any minute now, or seagull. When there is, that seagull or pigeon will pick up the video and send it all the way over to you, which I think is in Oxford, which will be down that way somewhere. Currently, we have a pretty rare thing here. It's called that thing there, the sun. It won't be here for long, so I'm going to try and get in the office and out of the office as quickly as possible so I can enjoy it. So if there's anything I've missed, please let me or Sarah know, and I'd be happy to look closer at it. Okay, no, it hasn't got front parking sensors, I've just noticed. Definitely got rear parking sensors anyway, because they beep. So that's good. Okay, right. Jack is kept in there, look. Okay, there we go. Thank you very much.